So guys, the trailer for the finale of Titans is out and everyone is losing their minds over it because we see Batman go crazy on essentially his whole rogues gallery. It is definitely the most unexpected trailer you could probably come up with, but I think it's kind of fairly obvious at the same time what is going on. So of course guys, let's break this down. How's it going, Titans? Welcome to a trailer breakdown for the finale of Titans. So I don't usually do this. I think I've done it for 1 or 2 episodes this season so far. We see Batman going absolutely crazy, killing the Joker, killing the Riddler and everything. So what I'm going to do is shut up first of all. So for those of you who haven't seen this crazy trailer can finally know what we're on about. So roll the trailer.
Jace?
What's up?
What are you doing here?
It's Batman. He's in trouble. Gotham's gotten worse. Commissioner Gordon's dead. Batman is going to kill the Joker. You need to come back to Gotham and convince him not to do it.
Bruce Wayne's not my responsibility.
But he saved you, Dick. What if you're the last person on Earth who can save him?
He lost his conscience.
He never had a conscience.
He's the only hero that Gotham has left. If he goes bad, the city goes down.
Bruce! Wait! This wasn't justice. This was a massacre.
There's no saving him anymore. He has to be stopped.
Bruce, it's Dick. We're coming after you.
Batman. He chose to embrace his darkness rather than deny it.
This is what you've always wanted. Wanted me to give in to the darkness, to become you. I'm a murderer. Let's end this.
So for all of you guys who haven't actually seen that trailer up until this very second, yeah, that is exactly what everyone is on about, and it is absolutely crazy. I think I have got the answer though. I feel like it's kind of obvious, but at the same time, when people see this, your first thought is, wait, what the heck is going on? What happened to the Trigon and Rachel storyline? However, I'm assuring you guys this is very much so involved with the Trigon and Rachel storyline. Essentially what I think is going on here as well, because quite a few people are asking, wasn't Titans like a 12 episode series? Apparently episode 11, which is the finale, will be around 2 hours long, so they may have merged these episodes together. Yet again, I can't confirm that, but everything we're seeing in this trailer, I'm thinking, is the first part with reality manipulation, and then we'll get on to the actual other side of things. But you may have heard me say a second ago, reality manipulation. Well, if you didn't know already, since Trigon has been released now and he's out in the world, he's all powerful, one of his comic book powers is indeed reality manipulation. Now, I feel like this trailer gives us quite a few clues as to that reality manipulation actually taking place, and I think it's kind of evident within itself anyway. Batman's going crazy. I know in this universe he is a bit more brutal than your traditional kind of Batman, but there's just a few telltale signs of things that just aren't quite right. And what we do know from the end of last episode is that Dick Grayson entered Trigon's, or should I say Rachel's mother's house, and nobody else could get in. So I'm thinking this is a trial and tribulation of Dick Grayson. The trailer is called Robin versus Batman or something like that, but on the DC Universe website, this episode is indeed called Dick Grayson. And the synopsis for the finale, episode 11, Dick Grayson, is simply Dick takes a dark journey back to Gotham in the finale. And why else do I say that this might be reality manipulation by the hands of Trigon? Well, it also appears that Trigon seems to make an appearance as, I'm guessing, a GCPD officer on the crime scene of Jim Gordon, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So for the trailer breakdown itself, I feel like that first scene tells a lot. We see Jason Todd rock up to the house that I assume Dick Grayson is living in, and this is what I mean. It's just like somehow he's just all of a sudden in a house, potentially, and so it seems from this trailer, living with Dove. And we know they've had a relationship in the past, but what I'm trying to spell out here is that in this new reality, this manipulated reality, it probably is reflecting upon how we know he screwed up with Dawn before, but now he's living with Dawn, aka Dove, and that is perhaps a life he may have saw for himself if, you know, his normal reality wasn't so screwed up. And what I'm referencing to there is that he himself is quite messed up, has made continuous mistakes, gives into violence, and also screwed that whole thing up with Dawn, as Donna Troy said herself in episode 10. And we've heard a few references to that before as well throughout season 1. Now, the interesting thing about this scene is that we see Jason Todd rock up to, I'm guessing, Dick Grayson's house where he's living with Dawn, and he's saying to Dick Grayson that you need to stop Batman from killing the Joker. We'll get to that in a second, but another interesting thing obviously is that Jason Todd is rocking up in a wheelchair. Now this, I have no idea if they're trying to spell out here that he was beaten by the Joker, you know, with a crowbar, but you know, if any of you are familiar with that storyline, you will know that Jason Todd dies and traditionally gets brought back by the Lazarus Pit. So him being in a wheelchair here is just a bit like, so what, did he get beaten by the Joker and lived, but now he can't be Robin, so he's just in a wheelchair? Like, and he seems pretty chill as well. So this is what I mean, none of it really makes sense there. And I think one of the fascinating things here that, you know, Jason Todd says to Dick is that you need to stop Bruce from killing the Joker. Well, what we know about Jason Todd is that he would be absolutely fine with that. He kind of just spelled out to Robin before in the Jason Todd episode that he is kind of pro killing, I guess, or just beating the crap out of those cops, and maybe you should kill the person who killed your parents kind of thing, or something like that. If you remember that, Jason Todd definitely approves of all of this. But anyway, Jason Todd explains to Dick Grayson that Gotham has got a lot worse. The Commissioner Gordon is dead, and as a result of all of this, you know, he concludes it by saying you need to go back to Gotham to stop Bruce from killing the Joker. And we get that cool little scene of Bruce in the Batcave looking at the CCTV, I think, of the death of Commissioner Gordon. I'm only like making that comparison because when Jason Todd said that Commissioner Gordon had died, he was just laying on the floor in front of that police car that Bruce is looking at on the screen. And this is what I was referencing to earlier. Here we say Dick Grayson saying to Dawn, or should Dove, whatever you prefer, you know, Bruce Wayne is not my responsibility. And Dove is just kind of combating what Dick Grayson's saying by saying, you know, he saved you. Basically, essentially saying that, you know, he raised you, he saved you from a life, you know, which wouldn't have been as privileged, I guess, without, you know, your parents or just living with Clay from the circus. So this is what I mean. This whole situation is weird. We know that Dove is with Hank, or Dawn is with Hank, and we know that Dick Grayson and Dove didn't work out. You could argue, what if this is a time jump in the future? I really don't think so. This definitely seems and sniffs and smells like reality manipulation to me. But she also mentions, what if you're the last person on Earth who can save him? Because essentially that is what this trailer or this episode is trying to get across to the audience, is that Batman has lost his mind and nobody can save him, but maybe one person can, and that is Dick Grayson, the Robin who left Batman and who might just get through to him. So that is what we see throughout this trailer, is that Robin, or should I say Dick Grayson now, does eventually, I guess, go after this and try and appeal to Bruce. We see him rocking up to Wayne Manor here. Now, another very interesting thing in this trailer is that it shows Starfire not necessarily as the Corey we know. This is another thing that just smells like reality manipulation. It just seems that Starfire's role is out of place since, you know, she's only recently kind of come to Earth. So this is another thing to bear in mind. But here, guys, we get the brutal Batman that everyone is talking about. I am quite surprised about this at the same time, how much we're actually seeing. Now, just on a kind of off side shoot here comment. A lot of people are getting a little bit angry online from regards of the Gotham fan base. Not talking about all Gothamites here, but I do kind of get it, because Titans here is essentially doing Batman, reality manipulation or not, full on Batcave, and I still don't think we'll necessarily see Bruce's freaking face to his lips or anything like that, but we're going to get an awful lot. I think, a lot of it will be from the back of Bruce, as we see throughout this trailer, and fast combat. But either way, the bottom line here is that just as Gotham was going into its 5th and final season, we're getting the Joker, well, I mean, he'll be dead, but we'll get to that in a second, and a lot of Batman suited up in live action on basically TV, streaming episodes, and Gotham is just about to get to that, and they've kind of had the carpet, or the rug, should I say, pulled from under them. So I do get how people might be a little bit salty about that. Regardless, two completely different shows, in my opinion. You can't negate how cool this is. Obviously, I'm a huge Gotham fan, and at the same time, it's probably a reality manipulation, so this isn't, real, but you could still put it down to, oh, Titans did it first, I guess. But anyway, guys, in this combat scene, it really is spelling out crazy Batman, or, Batman has just given up everything he kind of was holding back, because let me put it this way, if Batman did go bad, he would be basically just like this, badass, and who could kind of stop him apart from someone, I guess, like Superman. But, even that is kind of debatable. But anyway, we see him slitting cops' throats here. We get a look at an actual Batarang, which is really cool. Now, I'm not exactly sure where exactly or what room Batman stood in this particular moment in the trailer. It does look like a hospital room, just because we see like a computer monitor there. We see a couple of like IV drips or something like that. So what I'm wondering is, when the Joker, or we see the Joker in just a second in the trailer, was he in care at this moment? I mean, before he returned back to Arkham Asylum or something like that. But Bruce knew exactly where he was. Maybe he was injured from a previous fight, and he just tosses him out the window. Because what we do see in this trailer, as I just mentioned a second ago, is that Joker is flat face down on a car. So maybe by this point, Bruce has already killed the Joker. But the thing is, guys, that isn't the only person who Bruce seems to have killed in this episode, or in this reality, shall we say, because we see Two-Face with the coin there, seemingly dead. We see the Riddler, who is seemingly dead from the Riddler tattoos, and I just think it's awesome, by the way, how they've managed to chuck in little teasers like this. But this, on the screen, what you're seeing right now, we see the Joker, the green hair, the kind of purple suit, the yellow kind of shirt, the white pale skin, splat on a car. So I'm guessing either what we just saw was some kind of hospital place, or it could have actually have been a weird kind of version of Arkham Asylum, where Bruce didn't only just kill the Joker, but ended up killing every person of his rogues gallery, which is just absolutely insane to think about. As Dick Grayson says himself, in that moment where all the bodies are there, this wasn't justice, this was a massacre. And yet again, we see Starfire standing there as if, she's got nothing to do with her normal Starfire self. It's some kind of made up Elseworlds kind of role, if you will. Now, obviously, by this point in the episode, Bruce has killed, like, Joker, the Riddler, multiple other people, I'm guessing. And that is when we hear Corey saying there's no saving him. He has to be stopped. And, that's kind of self-explanatory. Batman's gone too far at this point. So I'm guessing perhaps Dick Grayson goes after Bruce to take him out. Now, if this doesn't scream reality manipulation anyway, that a load of SWAT are breaking into Wayne Manor, you could argue, I mean, it says police there, but you could argue this is some kind of off-government kind of thing, still keeping quiet the fact that Bruce Wayne is Batman. But to me, it seems pretty obvious that everyone by this point in the world knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, because SWAT are breaking in, the police are breaking in there trying to take him down, which is probably quite funny because Batman would just beat their asses. But still, now here we see actually Trigon talking to Dick Grayson, as we roughly mentioned towards the beginning of this video. Essentially what I think is going on here, judging by the sirens in the background, is that this could be on the scene of Jim Gordon's death, and this is Dick Grayson going to, that scene and figuring out what is going on with Batman and everything like that. Here we see more of Corey looking like some kind of field agent of something, just more demonstration to the fact that this doesn't seem like it's real. We even see Corey light up as Starfire, so she is still Starfire, but it definitely does seem like she's something else than what she is normally, and how this just signifies that it definitely isn't our kind of heroes. Now, whatever she seems to do might cause this explosion you're seeing right on screen in the Batcave, where a load of SWAT seem to have actually infiltrated. Now, I'm not exactly sure who Dick Grayson is fighting here. The guy has tattoos, and it seems that there is somebody in the background, perhaps a woman. It could be Starfire. Maybe this guy has attacked her, but Dick Grayson is viciously attacking him, but we're gonna have to wait and see. And let me know if you might have an idea as to who this person is. Now, at the end of this trailer, we see that Dick Grayson is saying, let's end this. It seems that there's been some charges armed on Wayne Manor, like including the Batcave possibly, where they want to blow it up. So this does make me think, what if, you know, the whole Batman standoff is happening within the actual Batcave, like all episode long? That is where Bruce seems to be, because if you think about it, a lot of the fight scenes that we've got throughout this whole trailer that we've been breaking down, it's still within the Batcave, or at least it seems that you know, it's in the Batcave where lots of SWATs are coming, and it's more like a horde mode for Batman to just stop waves and waves and waves of police. But other than that, guys, that is the gist of the trailer. I know this has been a bit longer of a video, but I just had to dive into the nitty-gritty details of all of what is going on in this trailer. It's absolutely crazy. As I said though, this does scream reality manipulation to me. What we have to remember is that at the end of the latest Titans episode, Dick Grayson was only allowed in alone into the house of, you know, Rachel's mother, Raven's mother, which would spell out that he's going to face Trigon. Trigon might want to F with him. One of his specialties is reality manipulation, so maybe he's put in this other kind of world where he has to face his darkness, or, you know, because Trigon's evil is all about darkness. What if he's trying to bring that out in Dick Grayson, but it turns out to be this kind of trial and tribulation of Dick Grayson? So I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below, guys. Let me know if you notice anything I may not have. The Batman suit and everything like that looks cool. I definitely feel like it looked a little bit ripply by the neck. I'm expecting that the cowl is kind of rubbery. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it, as it really does show your support for the channel, and of course subscribe to stay up to date with everything comic book nerdy. Links, as always, are in the description down below. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Titans in the next video. Goodbye.